everybody. We're back with Senator Bernie Sanders in his first interview following suspending his campaign this afternoon. Senator, let me ask you this. Do you think that the present coronavirus pandemic might be moving a lot more people toward your platform when it comes to universal health care? Because it clearly shows that we need a national response to health emergencies. That right now what we're doing is reaping some sort of foul harvest of the political complacency of the last 40 or 50 years.
Look, we have been told over and over again how effective and how wonderful the employer-based health insurance program is. Well, you know what? I think many millions of people in the last few weeks have begun to doubt that, because when they lose their jobs, not only are they losing their income, they are losing their health care. So the real debate is, A, should we do what every other major country on earth does, guarantee health care to all people? And B, whether health care should simply be an employer benefit. You have a good employer, you have good health insurance. Your employer is not providing good health insurance, you're screwed. Should that be the process? Or should we say, you know what? You are a human being. And because you're a human being, you are entitled to health care. You're entitled to affordable prescription drugs. You are entitled to live in a country with a strong public health system so that, God forbid, the next pandemic, doctors will not have to be searching around to find masks, so that they're not putting their lives on the line, so that we'll have strong primary health care all over the country. You go to a doctor when you need. So I think what this pandemic has done, and certainly in terms of health care, is make people understand that health care is not a privilege. It's not an employee benefit. It is a human right. And by the way, when we move, in my view, to Medicare for all, we're going to save substantial sums of money for the average person, because we're not working to provide huge profits for the drug companies and the insurance companies.
I would go you one further and say that healthcare is not just a human right, but it's actually good for the general welfare, because the people of means who do have health insurance and can stay in right now and not take too much of a financial hit are the ones who can do the right thing that we all know to do, which is to stay home. But if you don't have healthcare, if you can't stay home, you will spread the disease. This is about the entire society being benefited by every single person in it having what they need.
Absolutely right. And again, it's not only that we are, I should say that not only are you right on that point, we're the only major country on earth, embarrassingly, and we have to deal with it, that doesn't provide paid family and medical leave. So your point is, and let's underline this a dozen times, when we talk about essential people now, we're not talking about hedge fund operators. We're not talking about necessarily the CEOs of large corporations. We're talking about doctors, and we're talking about nurses, and we're talking about grocery store workers, and people who work in pharmacies, and people who are driving buses, people who
and garbage men.
And garbage men, absolutely. People who are keeping our society going and putting their lives on the line as a result of that. And your point, of course, is well taken. If people who are sick, who, God forbid, have the virus, and they're going out in the world, they're going to be spreading it, and they may be spreading it to people who are very rich as well. So I think in healthcare, there is an understanding that if you get sick, I get sick. If you got the virus, I get the virus if you're in contact with me. And maybe we should create a nation where we're never put in that position. And by the way, a nation where we put a lot more emphasis on keeping people healthy, not just treating people when they're sick.
Well, I think that if any good can come out of this terrible situation, it should be an awareness by average Americans that they are essential, and that the elites and the richest among us do not actually have to go out and do their jobs right now.
I think that's a very profound and important point.
We have to take one more break, but stick around. When we come back, I'll talk to Senator Sanders about how we can ensure a smooth election come this November.